single-use plastic was becoming more normal in Australia before the pandemic hit.
Recent research based on data collected before COVID-19 has found that not only were people mostly avoiding single-use plastics, one of the biggest motivators was knowing others were avoiding them too.
If you are out of your home for one of the 4 permitted reasons, then you need to be wearing a mask.
Now, around the globe, the fight against single-use plastic has been put on hold.
There's been a massive increase in the amount of plastics coming from healthcare. Masks, gloves, gowns and so forth are all single-use.
It's estimated that for every month of the pandemic, we are using 129 billion face masks and 65 billion plastic gloves globally. And that's not all. Pre-COVID, we were all about the reusable coffee cups and bamboo straws.
Our habits have changed through the pandemic. We're getting more takeaway, we're buying more items online.
Most of it coated in single-use plastic.
What we're seeing now is people are believing that single-use plastics are safer for them. So we have really reversed that great trend that we were going down.
This is despite the fact that the virus actually survives longer on plastic compared to other surfaces.
Reusable containers, as long as they're washed properly, there's nothing wrong with it. So I think it's really important governments and businesses to start coming out and saying, hey, using reusable items is still okay.
Yet states in the US, citing coronavirus, reversed bans on plastic bags. And in Australia, the rollout of some upcoming bans on single-use plastics has been delayed.
We know that there is more waste in our public areas. There is more face masks and gloves being discarded as litter.
About 75% of the plastic used because of the pandemic will likely become waste, loading up landfill and contaminating oceans. And the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, that massive trash twice the size of Texas, the most polluted water on the planet, choking wildlife and polluting our food chain, that just keeps growing.
It's important not to get frightened through the pandemic that we can use reusable items. Most of the takeaway is being consumed in our homes, so we can use our own cutlery. We can buy our fruits and vegetables unpackaged. We can use reusable coffee cups. So there's a lot that we can do as individuals to reduce the impact, and that we can make choices that are better for the environment.
I think that's the main point. It's just about making choices as you go along within the parameters that we have at the moment. I don't think we have to lose momentum altogether. I don't think it's all or nothing, but I think it's really important to stay focused on the most important thing right now, which is getting through this pandemic.
It's tougher than it's ever been for other causes to get air.
Very true.
Just because we're in a pandemic doesn't mean all our other problems have stopped, but I totally understand if you're saying, hey, you know, you keep ordering Uber Eats every night or whatever, and there's heaps of takeaway containers in that, and you should be more careful. And if someone looks at you and says, piss off, I've got so many worries in the world at the moment, and I'm just trying to get by, I also understand that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tommy, which slightly disturbs me, but yeah.